Welcome to the house tour of my fairy dollhouse. If you're new here, welcome. You're welcome to this channel. My name is Maud. If you were already a subscriber, then maybe you are the one that has been waiting for this tour of how I've come so far with my dollhouse. It's not finished by far, but I'm building it from scratch out of books and thrifted finds, and I'm heavily inspired by the Mouse House Mansion and Bentley House miniatures, and many more dollhouse projects. I'm not known in the dollhouse community. I'm really new at it. This is my first dollhouse that I'm building, but I have been collecting and making dolls over the years, and I've also collected many doll things and gathered them and really did not know what to do with them. But I also started junk journaling, and I was left with a lot of covers, book covers. And so the floors, the walls, the roof of this house are all made out of books that I found at the thrift store or on the sidewalk even, and were free or no more than €1. The inside of these books, like I told you, I've used to make junk journals. And I've also used popsicle sticks, wooden coffee stirring sticks, bamboo skewers, a plastic thrifted Barbie table, a door and a post box that I bought from the Mouse House Mansion, and all kinds of things and materials that I collected over the years. This table, for example, is a Barbie table that was in my possession already, but I never had any use for it until now. I am quickly learning new skills in making dollhouses. For example, this window. This was my first attempt, and I'm really proud of it. I'm also making sure that you can still see that I'm using books to make this dollhouse. So I'm not covering up the outside of the house. I'm keeping it the way it is. This junk journal that I made about 3 months ago was the first inspiration really for starting this dollhouse. I have my dolls on display in my craft room, and I was showing them on YouTube, and some of you asked me, how do you make them, Maud? And I felt flattered, but I also wanted kind of a different way to display them. My first thought was making a diorama, just a ground floor, and using things that I had in my house. Also these animals that I had collected over the years and the dolls that I made a long time ago. But it was no use. I needed new characters. So here are the 4 characters that are the residents of my fairy dollhouse. On the right you see Lily, who is my junk journal fairy, Snowdrop, the white rabbit that I made, Rosaline, the small fairy who I found in the thrift store, and Lucy, who is also a thrift store find. Lily is a Waldorf doll. She's one of the many Waldorf dolls that I made over the years. I've designed and handmade many of them. And for this dollhouse, I did not want to use my old dolls. I wanted to make new ones. And so out came Lily. And she loves junk journaling, just like we all do. And then Tina from Hummingbird Tales inspired me to make a white rabbit, Luna Lapin style. I already had the head of the rabbit for a long time, and I just needed to make her a body. And here she is, Snowdrop. I also wanted to knit her a lovely little dress, and I've used another book to start this dress. And Lily got introduced to Snowdrop, and they hit it off right away. They're good friends now. And I love to make these little scenes where they meet. And Lily is interesting snowdrop also in doing some junk journaling. The other two residents are thrift store finds, Lucy and Rosaline. Lucy had awful makeup, and I wanted to make Lucy from Narnia. So I took off the makeup and I tried a repaint. I'm not really good at it yet, but I'm getting there. And then I also my Blythe doll, Alice, to join the gang. I made her outfit myself, her boots, her dress. I've designed and made it by hand, and I love to make her a part of the group. The decoration of the front of the house is really to my liking as it is right now, with the little kitchen unit in there, the door, and the roof tiles that I've made from cardboard boxes also. It is coming along to my liking, and I'm really happy with how this looks now. Let me go into more depth of how I made the little kitchen. I used washi to resemble tiles and used what I had in my jewelry making kit to make the faucet. I have used a bouillon packaging to make this kitchen out of, and for me it was the right size. This is my first attempt at making dollhouse things, and I really enjoyed myself so much, and I'm really lucky that I gathered all kinds of materials over the years. I never thought I would be using so many bead making materials, but they come in handy. I also made a lot of kitchen equipment just by gathering small eeny teeny things. And for example, this teapot was made out of a thimble. It is really tiny, as I'm showing here. I am not filming what I'm doing on this dollhouse yet because I have to get another camera angle to show you what I do, and I'm really still a little bit insecure because everything is so new, but I did make a lot of photos along the way, and so I'm showing you kind of what the progress is that I'm making. These are photos of me putting up the first floor, and I'm doing this over days really. And this is wallpaper that I bought at the Mouse House Mansion, and I'm watching their videos and making it at the same time. I really am just putting this together day by day and going really slow, and sometimes it takes me days to figure out what I want where. But the thing I did know when I was putting up the first floor is that I wanted a box bed in there. And this box bed resembles the same box bed that my son has in his room and that I had built by a carpenter. And I watched that carpenter make that box bed, and I kind of also did the same thing, but then tiny. I have this dollhouse on display in our hallway. It sits there really nice on new shelves that I built. And a little while back, I was at a flea market, and I was so lucky to find all these doll cabinets, and I bought them for 10 euros. So these came from the flea market, and this little chair is something my son and his girlfriend made for my birthday. I was over the moon when they showed it to me. And all these things fit into the dollhouse really nicely, and that is why I shuffled around with all the elements a little bit, put the kitchen on the outside, and used one of the cabinets as a stool for now. I also found the little rug in the thrift store, and I'm really happy to keep this inside the dollhouse. And there are still so many things that I want to add to this dollhouse. For example, a rabbit hole at the bottom of this table. I think I want to make that out of polymer clay. I also am thinking of painting the clock because that kind of looks childish, and I have some ideas of what I want to do with that. But I also want to paint the tree, and I'm not sure what color I want it, so I'm not doing anything to it at the moment. And that is how slow things are going. I am just taking it one step at a time and just doing what I like, but not not rushing anything. I like the cupboards as they are, but my son mentioned that I have a lot of painted furniture in our own house, so perhaps I will paint some of the furniture, but not that nightstand, that vanity. I'm keeping that as it is. And for the box bed, I still have to make the bedding, and I think I want to also include tiny a tiny quilt. I think that would be perfect. It will probably take me days to make that, but I'm loving every second of doing these miniature things. And my friend Maureen is giving me some photos from now and then, and she showed me a photo of a green tree instead of a brown tree. And I think I will make this tree light green, and I will also do some leaves on there. And for the roof, I also have an idea of making a roof garden, but it it will come to me when I feel like it and when I am more confident. For now, this dollhouse is the way it is, and I'm liking it so far, and I hope you do too. I'm leaving you here with just a few more photos, a few more shots of the little fairies inside the dollhouse. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and if you like to see more, please subscribe, give this video a like, it would mean the world to me. Leave a comment down in the comment section if you like, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye bye for now. Hugs from the Netherlands.